Okay, the next techniques I'm going to be using is talking about how to get white in a watercolor. In this palette, you're going to see watercolor white, but watercolor in white, it's just hard to show up. It just because it's not transparent. If we put the white over the top of this, it isn't going to show up. You use the white of the paper to show your white. So you have to do what's called saving white. So you're going to see on here, saving whites by painting around, saving whites by using crayon, by using Frisket, by using the tape, lifting white, and lifting white. Okay, so the first one is just painting around. Basically what you're going to do is you would paint around the area that's white. So I'm going to use probably a smaller brush for this, and you want to go wet on dry surface because we don't want it to bleed. So we would just paint around an area. So if I wanted to leave an area white here, then I would just paint around it. Okay, pretty simple. After you do the saving the white, you can use what's called a crayon technique. That's what those white crayons are for in the cabinet. So you take a white crayon, you put down where you want it to stay white, and then you would paint over the top of it, and the wax from the crayon resists the water. So then that will save. So it's not a real sharp white image, kind of textury, but it's good for maybe a texture image. Let's say you're doing brick and you want a little bit white around the mortar, maybe you would use it for that. The next one's called Frisket. We don't have a lot of this, but this is the liquid Frisket. It looks like this. There's two different bottles of it. And what you do is you want to take this tool right here that looks kind of gross. You can use a brush, but if you use a brush you need to wash it out immediately. Or another thing you can do is take a brush and put soap in the brush before you put the Frisket on it. This Frisket is like rubber cement, it's glue. So you grab some of this and you want to put it on the paper, and when it dries it will resist like the crayon does. So I don't know that that's going to dry in time. This is a white area. You can also use Frisket over the top of an area. I put some Frisket over the top of this green wash up here. So later in the video I will come back in and I'll show you what those look like when we are done. So Frisket, so if you had some small areas, you would paint this Frisket in there to keep it white. Another thing you can do is use tape as masking, same as with acrylic. The only thing you want to make sure you do is that you really push down on the tape to get a nice edge up against the water, or not the water, the paper. Okay, so I'm going to go and show you how to do the tape one. So we're just going to go over the top of this, and you can see as that resists. Something else that you need to know about the tape is when you pull it up, probably should wait for that to dry, but I'm not going to wait here. I'm going to show you how to do this. When you pull it up, don't rip it up. You want to pull it back. Okay, so pull this tape back. You can see it's kind of pulling up on the paper a little bit, and go really, really slow. That's the bad thing about the tape. And sometimes it pulls up the paper. So that's why you do testing areas to make sure what you want to do. Okay, I'll come back and show you how I will paint over the Frisket, and you can see how that Frisket is later in the video.